Okay, let's get started. All right, call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Item number 1 is what we talked about last time about writing a letter to the New York State DEC, DOT about 25A. Did Mike put that on letterhead and send it out, Joe?
It's out.
It's out, okay, so I'm taking that off then. Okay. Number 2 was an update on the dock law. Mike has that, he's not gonna be here tonight, so we can discuss that on Thursday. Okay.
Did we ever get the pictures for the dock?
Mike Chaffee has like a diagram of them. I can send, I don't have it yet, but I'll get them from him, it's like a sketch.
Because I wanna call this guy before, starts really getting cold or
Yeah.
snowy.
When you're talking about this separate issue,
Our dock.
yeah, we're talking about the dock law, right?
This is the dock law
Yeah.
for the residents.
No, I realize,
She's just bringing that up because I guess you saw dock, right?
dock.
The GEI report is also Mike's taking care of that, so we'll ask him about that on Thursday, but from what I understand, him and Roger Flood were gonna start putting together a plan. We have a colored one. I don't know how we're even gonna start on that, that's like a big project. We're gonna take each section and maybe go through each section and see where most of the trees have to be taken down and go from the
We
most
should
to the
actually
least.
go around and look at them and get the
Oh,
worst
yeah.
ones first.
Mhm.
I'd like to see if we can get some kind of ongoing assessment of costs,
Yes,
so that we can say, well, this is how much money we can afford. We can do whatever we want, including almost nothing if we can't afford it, and then kind of go into it. So from my standpoint, I would think we would want to say, well, this is how much we could afford, and this is incrementally how much more it would cost, and then we can compare it to what's the most pressing needs and so on, because we budgeted a certain amount for trees.
well, last year we actually put an extra $10,000 in, which we're gonna use this year, and we can maybe do that again this year, on top of what we already have.
Well, we
And-
still have trees to be done, and, we're going into, snow season and all that kind of stuff, so you never know.
Right,
But this report had identified, I don't know how many trees that we never even,
72 to be exact.
yeah. So, we just have to figure out how we're going to.
right, and, I think, I agree we have to look at them, because, like the tree that us on Chestnut that we're gonna take down, they were saying it would probably make it, but when the arborist looked at it, he was like, it might, but it's gonna take out this, it's not a good,
Yeah.
it's not a healthy tree, it doesn't look good, it's not a nice tree, so I think it's gonna be a very tedious project.
Yeah, I'm glad you say that, because I think we have to use a little bit of our own judgment here.
Yeah.
Because they supposedly experts or whatever, but, they're not infallible. We have to decide what we think is the most pressing priorities.
So we're gonna do that the next time.
Yeah, and I think, if they start putting something together, then we can start reviewing it and going month by month, and then it can keep going for how many years it takes, talking about that, Howard,
Trees.
number 4, so you got an estimate
I
for,
put out for 3 bids. Norse never showed up, nor did he call, and this was before he was, so he's out of it anyway. Long Island Tree gave us a price of $6,500 for 12 trees, which I thought was a good price. And then Aronica came in, same 12 trees, $4,000.
I never heard of them, you know?
yes, they're arborists,
They've been here for 30 years.
Yeah.
I know Joe when he was alive.
They've been here for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, reputable company.
yeah, they have all the insurance, that's, so I'll do a resolution for Thursday for that, but you could schedule it, okay,
Yeah, that's cheap.
I'll call him
That's definitely cheap.
Yeah.
later in the morning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And as far as the trees go, the one that's up by you, the big one, that's coming down, and there's 2 more smaller ones that are leaning over.
do you know which ones they are, because I didn't see them all.
They
before I
are
let
taped,
them know.
they are
Okay.
taped. I went up there over the weekend and looked.
Oh, you did,
They
okay,
still are taped. And he said if they come down and they're leaning and they're bad, he said they're gonna take all the wires.
These
So-
are on Washington?
No,
Chestnut.
Cedar.
Chestnut?
Chestnut.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Just past. If you look down, you'll see 2 trees that have, I think they have blue or pink tape around, I forget which color it was, I think it was, yeah, it was the orange one, I think. But it's past that big one, there's 2 little ones. but they're like right across the wires. So he said, while he's there, I mean, he threw it in, might as well do it.
Okay. Just getting back to the budget aspect of all this, I had brought up the idea of planting trees, we're gonna take them down.
Yeah,
Now, clearly, there's a seasonal aspect to that, and, you know, if we're gonna be doing something now, I don't think now's the time, but as we start to see how much money we've budgeted, since we don't have that in our budget, however much we budgeted for tree removal, we should keep an eye on that to just see what it would be to, like, throw in a young tree
okay,
place, because that's gonna cost us additionally, that it would be a part of these bids.
right, or maybe have people, if they wanted to, for Earth Day next year, donate the trees and then we plant
Yeah,
them.
no, tree is better,
Right.
but, you know, I just wanna make sure we continue with that idea, and plant trees.
Yeah.
Did we get a list from the GEI people about what trees they favored? Remember they were gonna identify certain types of trees that were indigenous to our area, or it was supposed to be a great tree in some way?
I don't know what report you looked at, but the one I looked at, I had to sit there with the Google and go through every single GPS coordinate to figure out what is a tree. So, but when you look at the colored map, it tells you good, bad, poor, and you can pretty much, even though there's a lot of trees in the area, you can see by looking at the colored map where they are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking about if we put new trees in, we don't wanna just stick in any old tree, whether it's donated or not. They said that we should concentrate on indigenous trees or trees that have some kind of disease resistance or growth or whatever, that's somehow gonna be better for the village. But I don't.
Well, we should talk to, I guess, the arborist that's gonna do the trees.
Well, that's what I'm asking, and these people who do
Well,
that
if I get
survey were supposed
if I get the report,
Okay.
he won't do it probably tomorrow or
They gave
anyway,
us
so.
tree replacements of things.
Okay.
And I know when I went through Trustees Park with Laura, she gave us reasons of things that, you know, could be trimmed back and lines that could be taken out. So I'm imagining that Mike and the planning board will put together some kind of a recommendation. I mean, this doesn't mean anything to me, I don't even know how to,
I hope they use the common name for the tree instead of some Latin name, you never know what the hell they're talking about.
right,
But just tell
Yeah,
us,
go
Put it
research
in
what the
that
hell it
tree.
is in the first place.
put it in the street.
yeah, so I think, you know,
I'll
we'll
forward
have,
it to you, Jeff, you can sit there and read it,
yeah.
if you've got a microscope on your,
Yeah, I can see
Computer.
it, yeah.
It's a little easier on the computer, but still it makes no sense. Okay, so we'll have the winter to put something together and start going from there. Okay, so we started working on the signs. We want to make some changes. Gary's not here, but yeah, I sent him what we started with. We decided to kind of stay with the same, these kind of, yeah, we're gonna stay with this, it looking like this, but, so it welcomes people, and then have the rules underneath it, so Brandon's gonna work on getting, like a mock one for us to look at before we print it, so everyone can agree on it, so maybe they'll have for
When
Thursday.
you say rules, I mean, it's like,
Like, you know, the one that we have that flew down that said like speed limits 25 miles an hour. But I think it should say something nice like welcome, to, you know, like this.
well, like, you know how
Welcome.
Belcare has you go in there and they have like a million rules and it's basically said you're not welcome.
Yeah, no, that's not,
So
it's gonna be like, oh yeah, no,
that
one
size,
change.
it'll stay on that size.
It might be a little bit bigger just so you can see when you come in. We were looking at the sizes now, but we, you know, so hopefully Thursday we'll have something to look at and go from there. So,
Do we have one of these for the public?
the agenda,
no,
oh, they're out
She
there.
said they're not there.
it's all on the back.
It says November 30th, November 10th.
Oh, it's just a misprint, it was from the last meeting.
It's got all the resolutions from the
November meeting, right.
November meeting,
Um,
but nothing for this month? No agenda for this month?
That's it,
this is it.
wrong date.
The next thing is the, voting mooring fees. So what are we at now, Joe? $100?
The mooring fees are 25, and the
Town of Brookhaven's
dinghy
120.
fees are 25. Down in Brookhaven, I think it's 140, 150,
150.
$150.
Okay, that's how it's 150. So,
We had discussed going up to 50.
yeah, well, I don't think we should change the dinghies. I think 25 is reasonable for the dinghies, don't you?
Yeah, I think it should be low.
Yep. And instead of the mooring being 25, we can make it 50. Then with Town of Brookhaven, it's 200 for the season. Okay. Okay. 43, oh, anyone else want, is everyone okay with that? We'll go for $25? Yes?
The 50.
Yeah, I'll do a resolution for Thursday, okay. Okay, so Chestnut, we had the house sold 41 through 43, and when they went to sell the house, they had, they were,
Which house is that?
the right house that's on the corner,
Brundage.
Okay, okay.
because of when this house was built, it was back way before we had even a village or village codes. Just wanna find a picture, you guys will survey.
1906.
1906. So anyway, they were less than 2 feet on village property. So one of them is a building, it's a I don't know if it was an office or a garage that they were
I think it's
using.
that little house to the left as you go up.
It's
It's
the bungalow.
actually the
Some
bungalow.
It's a bungalow, yeah.
Yeah, it is the bungalow,
Park,
it's this one.
park property, is that what it?
Yeah,
that
over
kind
here.
of wooded area, I mean, we don't use it, it's a
Right.
wooded area in between the park and their property.
So their house comes over to here, but village property comes down here. So we're gonna do a boundary line agreement with them. They're not gonna build on it, we're not gonna do anything with it. If they decide to take this building down or change it, then they'll move it onto the property line. So, we went back and researched some things and we found, back then when they built this, the surveying equipment that they have now is not what they had back then. So it was probably just an honest,
mistake, yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's kind of, it would be
I mean, the house was there for long before that we even had park
100
here,
years
so-
before we had village code.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't make sense to sit down there and bust their homes.
Even when I had my house surveyed, my meter pan was on my neighbor's property.
oh really?
Yeah, it was bad.
What'd you do, move it?
But, yeah, we had a agreement
With it?
stated, yeah,
Oh,
it worked out.
So that's pretty much what happens.
Yeah, it was just
This is a
right.
standard thing.
It came at a diagonal and literally my meter pan was on my neighbor's property.
yeah, even when we did our fence, it was in our neighbor's driveway, behind us. It was-
If
So
you look-
anyway-
If you look at the surveys, you'll find that the property in between Birchwood and Walnut is a 7-foot strip right down the middle of the entire run. No man's land.
Yeah.
Because when they did the original surveys and flat plan, they did the flat plan. A little bit different to come back to the gully. So when you go down, you end up with a difference in lines. So everybody's got a monument out there. You see one monument here and 7 feet over is the other monument, the guy behind it.
Well, anyway, I'll email you a copy of the boundary line agreement, but then I'll do a resolution on Thursday. Okay? You shouldn't vote on Thursday. You can abstain from the vote. Okay? Okay. Okay, rental permits. I sent back my stuff to Frank and John. They fixed it, sent it back out. The only thing I think, from what I understand, the law seems to be fine, but we wanted to see the forms, right? So Frank was on vacation last week, so we'll have the forms for Thursday. And I think that's really what we have to look at, how hard is it to fill out the form? Because a lot of the comments that I had to do with filling out the form, but I have to see the form, okay? So, we'll do that on Thursday. You
So we're
want-
gonna first look at it and vote?
Yeah, well, I'm hoping Frank will give it to me, like tomorrow, the next day.
It'd be nice to have a little time to just.
Yeah, and we can always put off to January too if we have to, so. Okay, you wanna talk about 183 building?
Yeah, but you know, when you say 183 covers, there's a lot of things under 183. You're just talking about permits, building permits?
I'm only talking about the changes that you want.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, that's, because if you were gonna talk about 183, we'll be here all night.
Oh, no, only the 6 pages that you sent
Yeah.
us.
Okay. As part of just looking at our codes and finding all these inconsistencies, I decided when I couldn't do anything physical with my elbow, that I would sit down with the codes and kind of read them and see where things weren't updated and when they, you know, and there were things in the codes, especially in 183, you know, you're not allowed, things governing revival meetings and circus tents. I mean, there's like crazy things. So I
You
eliminated.
can't have a service tent.
Yeah, I eliminated a lot of stuff like that. But also, one of the things that I think we really need to do in the village is to clarify the whole thing about building permits. Which is to say, in the codes, have an inclusive list, which is now on our updated building permit form. There's a list of things that says, for these things, you absolutely need a building permit, but it's not in the codes. So if you're in a gray area there, people don't know what it is, and then we're in a situation where somebody says, yes, you do, and the person says, no, you don't. Am I giving too much away here?
Yeah.
And so it should be written, you know, it's a matter of law, here's what it is, and so on. So I'm writing all that stuff, and part of the problem was that there were some things that had multiple definitions, depending on, you know, where it appeared in the code. So anyway, so what I tried to do is to come up with definitions, and I brought this up at the previous meeting, where I looked at what Brookhaven uses and the state codes, and to come up with definitions of structure, of building, shed. I passed around a list, but
Right.
things that would be consistent from section to section, and also made sense. I think I said, one of the first things I discovered was in one section of our codes, they hadn't been looked at in I don't know how long. The definition of structure had the word structure in it 2 times. A structure is a structure that is in some construction structure. So, I mean, so to just try to make sense of it. So, it boiled down to just a few different things from different sections, but every time we change the wording in something, we have to meet on it, we have to agree on it, and I think we have to have a hearing on it.
Yep.
Hopefully we could do all at once. But, you know, I don't think it's controversial in any way. It's just simplifying the codes and also making them clear so that the average resident who wants to know, you know, what they need, or in case they don't get it, you know, what happens in that case. So, it's just a question of all of us agreeing on it and then we move forward on it. Because there was one issue with the stormwater, that's also in the
Yeah, I saw that.
that I don't know whether or not we can even move forward in this until we have that.
Yep. Well, I didn't send it to anybody yet, because I didn't, you know, at first I thought, we'll just talk about it tonight, and then I can send everyone your email so they can take a look at it.
I mean, yeah, I mean, any information you get now, you can look at it at your leisure, and then when we get the rest of it, we would have one hearing. And it's, you know, these are the changes, very specific words and so on. Unfortunately,
We have the structure that's highlighted, is that what you're changing?
the structure appears in different
Oh,
sections.
okay,
So that's why I have the specific reference, means that you have to go back to that in the code to see how it's used.
Okay.
Because even within my own changes, it's slightly different, but they're not inconsistent, I think. So you almost have to have the new version and the original code in front of you so that you can see what it was and
well, that's what I was gonna do, I was gonna take it and show everyone the change, so.
That
Okay.
really what's necessary. And, in fact, when we put it out, we may, I mean, it's kind of difficult to do that for some people, or maybe what we could do is have the old and the new, so people can review it. Again, I don't think anything is controversial, it's just changing
Changes,
things to make sense, so.
We gotta add in there that, we go back to New York State building code, like a link to it, do you wanna add that in there?
The issue that she's referring to is that if you read the introduction to the state code, in fact, I was gonna mention that on Thursday because it's relevant to the issue of the
Property maintenance.
property maintenance code. They say you have to have these things, and the most restrictive use, whenever there's a difference, is the one that go by. Usually this is more restrictive, especially when it comes to building codes. So you'd have to include the entire state codes in order to have people be able to see that. And it's impossible to follow those state codes. They're so lengthy, it's hard to even find something you punch in the learners. It's just so, So my thinking is, and I believe that this is the reason why you have village codes, even though there is the state code that we already, we have to answer to, is that it's accessible to people. So I don't think it's necessary to put in everything. This is what the village of Poquott is going to be concentrating on. If it came down to a lawsuit, and people delved into it, and it would be the attorneys doing that, ultimately the state code would prevail.
Right.
But, again, I was gonna say this at my remarks Thursday, is that our code should be viewed, especially for things like property maintenance, as a roadmap, like a budget that says, this is what we're interested in, and this is where we're gonna put our resources, and so, you have people being able to open up a readily accessible village code, click on it, and say, okay, here's what is an issue. And then, I'm imagining that if passed as prologue, that somebody from code enforcement would say something to the person, not for nothing, but you need to, whatever. And it would only be the people who dug in their heels and said, no, I'm not, I have a right to blah, 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 that then we get into, okay, we have something on the books that will allow us to proceed if they want that. But we're not looking to change anything, it's already in the state code.
Right,
So that goes for everything that we put forth in our codes.
but we could have an
So-
introduction, it just has a link to it. If we
Yeah,
want
well,
to.
I mean, how long did it take me to say all that? I mean, it's basically explaining the relationship of the villages to the state and the state's code, setting the precedent for everything that we put in there. So, I mean, if you felt that was worthwhile, I could write something up. I'm sure that I could borrow something from the introduction to the state codes. But I can never find it again. I couldn't find it.
Oh, you went back that
I
day?
couldn't find it. I know I saw it, but that just goes to show you about the state codes. I mean, it's like impossible. So, I have the time. I'd be happy to do it, but I'm not sure. I want to keep it user-friendly, to not have everything lost in verbiage, which is what I think is the state code, because you have attorneys going in there all the time, and
Would
they're
it
used
be
to
just
that.
easier just to write it up as, in the event of a legal issue, we just,
Well, that's always the
if
case.
the lawyers would sit down and revert to the,
I don't know if we need to.
I don't want to put that in our codes. I don't think that that's necessary, but, I mean, basically what I want to be able to do is to have people click on our website, click on our codes, get their answers, and then they can decide how they want to proceed, but it's going to be clear and easily gotten. So even an introduction to explain all that could be cumbersome.
I don't think the other villages have a link that goes to the state code. Because I've
It's
gone through a lot of it.
You know, I thought we were going to do that, and then I said, you know what, this is never going to happen. It's just, it's a nightmare.
Okay, we'll just, we don't have it there now.
Yeah, yeah. But all the more reason to bring our codes up to speed, so that there's, people know what the story is.
Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'll go through our code and I'm gonna show what it says and what you're wanna change it to, and then I'll send it out to the board, how about that?
Okay.
Okay.
So I saw you did send it out, you just didn't do it with the.
I didn't do it back and
Okay,
forth,
yeah.
and I just, read it like yesterday, so.
Well, I would think so. Okay, I think you'd be able to do that, you'd be able to do that, but.
That's fine, I don't have to do it, that's one less thing off my list. Okay, so, we had originally talked about maybe doing a separate law for the stop signs, but, after we went back and forth, I think it's added in, it's actually in the vehicle and traffic one already, because the stop signs are all listed in here. So, from what I can see, I don't think this is gonna be separate, but we have to ask Joe because he's not here. Alright, you don't have this one, look at that. I think that it's already in there when I read it, so, we get to, see how he lists all the stop
Yeah,
signs? Okay, and then he has the penalties
Right.
for not, and I'm pretty sure this is 1 through 6, and the stop signs are 4, right? Or 4?
Yep.
So that is included in this, that's what I'm reading,
Okay,
okay? But, I sent him an email today, but I didn't hear back.
okay,
But I'm sure Thursday we can clarify that,
fair enough,
and if not, then we can go from there,
okay.
okay? Parking stickers, Joe? You wanna give that to, after we look at it, you wanna give it to John so they can approve it?
Okay,
You can take that with you, I have another copy.
I put the, new parking stickers out to the Sano Printing to get a price for them. And we're looking at a price of, for 400 stickers, it's $465. And what the code would like us to do, and we're gonna be discussing, is to now mount the sticker, which is gonna be now 1.5 by 1.5 by 1.25. It'll be on the back of the rear view mirror, on the passenger side of the rear view mirror. And it's gonna be reflective, so that when they physically see it in the dark, they can just shine a light and you can read the physical thing. And it's gonna be, because they've come across instances where, A, residents don't wanna put stickers on their vehicles, because people now know that they live in Poquott. And makes them
Is that good or bad?
Makes them vulnerable, they think. And you got other people who don't wanna put stickers on their car at all, period. And you got the other people who basically don't have what we used to call in the old days the gypsy windows, the fly windows. They don't have them anymore, so where do you put the sticker? You can't put it on a rolling down window, because it's gonna peel off. So the Village of Port Jefferson uses a small square sticker that they stick on the back of the rear view mirror, and you can read it from outside, and you can read it with a flashlight if you have to at night. And they wanna go to those, and this is the material it's gonna be made out of. This is just the material side.
Do you wanna show Frank and give us a question if it's okay and whatever?
Yep.
Okay.
You know, with the, when you remove a sticker, it's a little bit of a challenge. You know, you can do it when you're out of the car, something like that, but behind the mirror, I just wanna make sure that that's gonna be able to be peeled off relatively easily. To get behind there and start scraping or something, it's gonna be tough.
Poor Jeff, I guess, is having no issues with it, I guess, but again, I'll check with Frank.
I guess it's glued to plastic or
Yeah,
metal,
it should
so
be
it's not.
relatively easy to remove, a little
I-
bit
I-
easier probably than glass, actually.
Well, it'll be hard to counterfeit.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things, we have one of the people that's up for court because she was counterfeiting stickers.
I know.
Our court?
Yeah,
Crazy, right?
Why?
and what Frank was saying on these,
Counterfeit
was
$100 bills and make it
Yeah,
go
right.
around, but I mean,
the new stickers, when the sticker is issued, you will utilize the registration for the vehicle, the plate for the vehicle that's being issued to. First number or initial on the thing will be on the left side of the sticker, and the last number will be on the right side of the sticker, left of the, off the plate of the vehicle, so when you shine the light on, you can read 2 digits, check with the 2 digits that are on the physical plate on the vehicle. So nobody's gonna be able to swap them back and forth and say, you know.
I
yeah,
just
use
can't
my
even react
sticker,
with it
use
with
my
that.
sticker. We've had instances of that, and the officers have found that, so. Right, so John, you want to put this one in?
Sure.
But that's my. thing today.
Okay, you'll have the checks too. That's all we have. Most of it's gonna be resolutions for Thursday, and so, all right, so the 1, 2, 3, 4, these 5 resolutions we didn't get to at the last meeting because we had too many people in the room. So, I'm gonna do these, resolution adopting the minutes from October 30th, 2016 work session for the Board of Trustees, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Did you say that, from October, what?
We didn't have these,
Yeah, what was the date?
October
October
13th.
13th.
I thought you said 30. Should I go? Resolution adopting the minutes from October 13th, 2016 meeting of the Board of Trustees. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Resolution to approve and authorizing the mayor to sign agreement with the town of Brookhaven for 2017 salt, sand, and general repairs. So moved.
Second.
Aye.
All in favor?
You gonna sign it with me later, or tomorrow, or
That's all
Wednesday,
right.
whatever?
Well, you know, we're done.
No.
Resolution adopting the parking sticker policy for 2017. So moved.
Second.
Is that for the, what we just talked about?
Yeah.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Joe, you wanna do checks?
Okay. We didn't get to these last time either, and some of them are brand new, so let's get done with them. Okay, 4 unpaid bills to be approved as of November 30th. PSE&G Long Island Electric Village Hall, $291.83. Small Business Management Solutions, November Bookkeeping Services, $323.75. Suffolk County National Bank Safe Deposit Box Fee, $141.21. Triad Telecom, the telephone lines, telephone system, $125.14. Total $81.93 for 4 bills. 6 unpaid bills to be approved November 18. Accurate reporting services, transcript of hearing, $314. Be Ready, Fishbein, Hatter, and Donovan. The McCready's case, $262.50. Joseph Poquott bill, Maybeck Drive, disbursement of the deeds, $2,225. Service Education, Inc. Annual courtroom program licenses, $1,539. Times Beacon Record, legal notice of snow plowing bid, 5601. Verizon bill, $49.90. Total of $4,446.41. One bill that